All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Talking Investing. Here with Tom and George. So
I've changed my name.
let us
I
know
told you,
if
guys are all welcome. Everybody's welcome.
George, yeah, you start. Tell them.
I cared so much about everybody on the stream that I made sure that I sold yesterday so you guys at Cleanspark could get your run.
And you said, and that's exactly what you said when you sold.
I said, congratulations, guys. It's gonna run. And it did.
Nathan, yes, he did live on the stream yesterday.
George, I'm sorry. It's part of life, right?
Yeah, I mean, you made money on the trade. It's just
20%. I think it was 20% right before we went on.
Yeah, and it's at 21%.
See, I think what's his name was listening to me.
It's rigged.
Said, yeah. Thanks, George. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. You guys are welcome. The 20% up. That would have only been like, I don't know. I know how much it would have been. You guys all know that I know exactly how much it would have been. But hey, there's always that one person that seems to hold that stock down. That was me. So congratulations, guys.
You were the catalyst.
I know. I told Tom, I'm like, Tom, I don't think I can go on stream today.
Nonsense.
I can do it. Yeah, I just did. I was like, heck no, man. There's no way.
No, we show up. That's the bottom line.
Joe in the pro. Just call me Joe, guys. Finally convinced Bitcoin isn't going to sub 15K. I don't know. I don't think I'm always convicted in my thoughts. So, does it look like it's going to go sub 15K right now at this point in time? No. But you know what? It's amazing how things can change on a dime. And then, it just is it's just a different day again.
Everybody should remember
Ethereum thing.
This is a very volatile asset. It goes up viciously. It goes down viciously. We have all been living. I mean, the longer you've been in this, the more you've lived these ups and downs. And there's no stopping. So we'll see. Sour Melon Gaming just said, folks, keep in mind, it's only at 30K. The upward potential from here is insane. So we're still down more than 50%. So you don't know. Like, there's huge upward potential, yet at any time, do we have a pullback and a retest? This is the patience game part of the program.
And I don't have patience. That's the one thing I don't have. Yep, I sold Monday, the wrong day to sell.
Gary
no, I didn't.
said,
what day? Didn't I sell yesterday?
Monday and started the Bitcoin run. Was wrong by a day.
Don't sell your miners to Bitcoin. See, now Tom was telling me, he goes, what you should have done was this. You should have taken and gotten options, and you would have been fine. Would have covered you, either going up or down, no problem.
I don't love the Cleanspark options because they're in $2.50 increments, so that's a little frustrating, and I think we might have talked about that yesterday. I'm not sure if that was on the private stream or on the public. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the ways to, if you have a big run up, one of the things you can do if you're nervous, I mean, obviously you can always sell and take profits, not financial advice. You guys know what you're doing. Or you can start to buy some puts to protect yourself, or you can start to, sell some calls to make some money.
Is it really $4? Can you pull up Cleanspark?
I got it.
All right. Oh my.
$4.
Oh my goodness.
FV702, thank you for the super chat. You are the champion. And FV702 says, good morning, holy F. Talk about some crazy days. All green, baby. Sponsored by Wolf, Coors, Bitfarms, Cleanspark. Holy smokes, boys.
That's nice to see, isn't it?
I'm right there with you, FV702. Today is It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, but the day's not over. So,
And you know what?
keep a close eye.
At 4 o'clock, when CleanSpark yesterday got down to $3.25 of what I sold it at, I was so tempted to buy back in. I was so tempted. But I heard the reason. There is a reason for the run. I don't know if you guys heard about why there's a reason for the run.
Let's hear
The
it.
guy who normally sells for CleanSpark, he's getting a tooth pulled or something like that, and so he can't sell the stock today.
A root canal, I heard.
I'm making that up, guys, just so you know.
He took the day off, so
He took the day off, right?
the stock's running. These
The
are
stock's
some
running.
these are some monster numbers. I mean, we just looked at 2 days ago, we looked at a green big board that was staggering, and this is rivaling that one. And we'll see. We're in the middle of the day, so we're going to have to see where it ends. But this is some serious action right now. And you can see Bitcoin's way above. So the orange line always is where Bitcoin was when the U.S. equity markets closed yesterday. So we were under 30,000. We were hanging around 29,800. But that seemed to be the bottom, and it's been up from there. So we're in the middle of a red 15-minute candle at the moment. But you can see momentum has been up in a big way, and we're up. So from yesterday's close, and we're pulling back as we speak, but we're up 2% right now. We were up 2 3/4%, 10 minutes ago. So a little pullback. We'll see what direction we head in. But, if everybody could please smash the like button. Much appreciated. We got 26 likes. We're shooting for 100. Every like counts.
I'm looking at the E-Trade. At least we still have CleanSpark over there. I didn't touch anything there.
Yeah, we got CleanSpark over there.
And
we got
Bitfarms.
Bitfarms over
And
there.
HUT.
Yes.
I can't
So-
believe that you're getting close to being even on all those.
Those are they're having nice runs, and Bitfarms finally, and it's still not. I'm going to say this right now. I think we're going to get our 10 days in a row, but we're still not out of the woods. Bitfarms has run up to these $1.20, $1.25, and still pulled back under $1 in the 2 previous times that it got above. So I'm optimistic, but I'm not cashing the check yet. So this is this day 2? I think this is only day 2.
Yes, this is only day 2.
So day 2 of 10, hopefully, for Bitfarms, and it's a nice up day, but it's 10 or 11% right now. Some other miners are doing better than that. Some others are doing not as good. That's actually probably just about right in the average there. So
It is nice to see. So most of these, let's see, with CleanSpark, how much is it up now for the year?
but
And it's still only up 85% for the year.
I'll show you the chart that, let's see, Mark, the old good luck Tom stream. Yeah, hey, listen, we've had some good streams lately. We've had some good price action during the streams. Really nice that you guys, and this is from Scapegoat, really nice that you guys do live streams so we can share our euphoria here. Yeah, this is nice, especially on the days that we're in the middle of a good run. So, everybody keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope it keeps going. But I don't see any reason why the next, move I still think the next move is up. There's some resistance up there, but I think it's some pretty light resistance, in my opinion. Gorilla,
and you're welcome,
smash,
Samuel, for
destroy
the
like
run.
button.
Yeah, smash that like button, please. We're not going to talk about any sensitive subjects today,
Yes.
so we don't get demonetized again.
Yeah, we got crushed yesterday by. We need some merch.
What's
I
lagging
know.
behind? We do need merch. What's lagging behind right now, Tom?
Let's see. I mean, even the stuff that's lagging behind is green, but DigiHost is up 5%. But, I mean, DigiHost is up like 350% on the year. So,
Right.
It's lagging a little behind. Any, which I did double down on, and now it's up. It was down first thing this morning, so I bought some more, and now it's up 7%. So, but that's lagging behind the crowd. Argo blockchain is up 4.67%, and I will tell you, not financial advice, my personal opinion, There's a reason I haven't done an Argo blockchain video in a while. I'm looking at their business model and I'm looking at what they're doing, and I just don't see a path. I'm not saying they're going to fail. I just don't see a big path to success right now. So if somebody else does, I would love to hear the bull argument for Argo blockchain, but I'm not on board. Stronghold's up 15%. Cypher's up almost 18%. Marathon is up 15.5%. I mean, Marathon's the second largest market cap. Riot's up just under 10%. That's the largest market cap. And then, sorry, George, CleanSpark's up 21.5%.
It's all good, man. It's
Hive
all
is
good.
double digits. Hive's up so the Canadian miners. Hive is up 10.5. Hut's up 11.5, and Bitfarms is up 12.7. So, that's all. I mean, you got to look hard to find something not going well on this board.
So,
the things I think my head might be blocking. I know MicroStrategy. I don't think you guys can see. It's up 5.4%. DMG blockchain. I'm not sure if you can see that one or not. That's up about 6%.
question: why do you think Argo's going out of business?
I just said I don't think they're necessarily going out of business. I just don't see how. I don't see a growth plan. I don't see a path to success for them. I think they saved themselves from going out of business, but at a gigantic cost. Argo was once, there was only 5 or 6 of these things, and Argo was one of them. Now there's, I follow
They probably
18
have some
or 19.
FTX money if they're in the Bahamas.
They had to restructure their whole entire business and sell all their facilities, and they're at 2.5 exahash. That has not moved all year this year, and there's no plans that I see them even talking about to make a move to do the next thing. So I don't know. I understand why they're lagging behind today. If I was to jump into one of these miners, my first choice would not be Argo blockchain. Alexander said Argo is in the gutter still.
They're up 71% for the year, though. That's crazy. 39 employees.
I'm going to go to my last Friday chart. And then this is not updated, so George is giving you up to date. This is updated through last Friday, but this is one of the things. So I do, no one chart tells the story, but this is why I do so many charts. And I get a lot of requests like, oh, I don't like this chart. I wish you would do it that way or this way or that way. And I will try to continue to add charts because there are, almost like infinite number of ways to look at this. But this was my chart as of last Friday from January 1st through last Friday. So this is year to date, and you can see, what did I invest in? I've been continuing to dollar cost average into CleanSpark. I opened a position in any, and I tell you guys this, so it's not like it's a secret, right? I mean, when I do it, I say it on the live streams usually. And then the only other position I've added this year is Wolf. So these are some of the ones that are lagging Bitcoin's activity, and they were long, in my opinion. So they're not all overdue, like you'll see. Here's Argo blockchain. I didn't jump into that one because I don't feel good about them, but I did jump into any because I feel good about them, and they were way behind. They're still way behind. So CleanSpark's up more in the last. CleanSpark's up more today, just today, than it was up the first 95 days of the year.
I know. You said it. You said it. You just have to wait for it.
It's just, and so this is, and again, this is only one chart. So, you got to look at them all, and you got to use your judgment, and you got to understand what's going on in the big picture, and blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill.
Just got to wait for it.
DEFCON 2 said Argo sold their biggest asset away. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. They sold they had to do it. I mean, I think it was that or go out of business, but, it does not leave them in a good face or in a good place. Ricky said, Bitfarms. I'm right there with you. Let's get so far away from $1 that the Bears stop trying to have this fight over Bitfarms over or under $1. Let's just get this over with. Let's get to $1.50.
Dude, those options are going to be huge. The $1.50 options you got
You know,
in the middle.
if this keeps up, those are good options right now. Yes, those are treating me well at the moment. And I'm gonna hold them. I don't think Bitfarms is done. You know, if it is, then it is. We'll see what happens. But
Look at HUD for an example. Samuel just asked a question about it, by the way. But look at HUD. What will their market cap be when post-merger?
I mean, effectively, it's a merger of equals. So they're gonna double in market cap of wherever they are on that day. And that's why. Oh, FV702, thank you again for the super chat. Thank you very much. Tom should feel good about cores and jump in. This is not financial advice. I was taking a good long look at everything last night, and cores was starting to get at. The more Bitcoin runs up, the more interested I am in Core Scientific. So I didn't buy any. I didn't buy yet, but I am looking at it. So
what could be the outcome? What could, you know what I mean? What do you think the outcome is going to be? At this
the
point
more
in time?
Bitcoin goes up, the better the chance that they can restructure all their debt and be cash flow positive and have a bunch of money left over, so that the shareholders who, you know, sit in last place, that there's something left for the shareholders. And there might be, you know, if there's something left and then they go on a run. I mean, if and when these guys survive, they're not going to be $100 million market cap company. They're still at 16 exahash, and it seems like they creep down a little bit every single month, so I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. They were as high as 17. Now they're, I think, 16.1. But let's say they come out of bankruptcy at 15 exahash. That still leaves them, you know, right there with the top Bitcoin miners. So it's not going to be, you know, that market cap could, this is, even though it's up monumentally, it's another one that could 5x or 10x if the right thing happens. So I agree, FV702, thanks for the super chat. I have not bought into that yet, but I did spend, and somebody earlier asked me about, where was it? DMG. So I spent a long time looking at DMG last night, and they're another one where, like, I think they've got a sound business. I think they're going to live and survive and move on from here, but I don't see their growth plan going into the halving. So, and their market cap is tiny. So I'm not saying it's a good one or a bad one. There's so many that I think are, in my personal opinion, exceptional opportunities that, you know, I've got 50 stocks that are not Bitcoin miners on the top of my watch list that I haven't been able to buy into yet because, you know, these things pulled back. I still think these represent the biggest upside, but, you know, I have some non-Bitcoin mining stocks that are ahead of stuff like DMG, in my opinion, as far as potential growth. And that doesn't mean I don't think they're going to do good things. I don't think they're going to keep pace with some of these others that are, as we can see, you know, this is the third. We had one pullback. So yesterday we had a pullback, but, you know, almost every single one of these has gotten that back and then some today. And that was after 2 gigantic green days. So, you know, this has been a good week so far.
What's LMFA? LM Funding America?
Oh, that's the one I keep starting to look at and then I never look at.
Oh, I don't know. I'm starting to write down the ones that I hear about, you know, because that's up 5%. It's just nice to see.
So it's $11 million market cap. So this is super small. This would be the smallest out of all the stocks that I follow. But I will tell you, back in November and December, at the bottom of the bear market, several of the stocks that are on the list that we've talked about, they did get down to this $10 to $15 million market cap range. You know, now they're double or triple or quadruple that.
Interesting.
Operates as specialty financing company, provides funding to nonprofit community associations, primarily focused in the state of Florida as well. I feel like I'm on the wrong. This is not it.
Tom, I have an idea of what to do to get the stream really, really big.
What is it?
You would call you. I mean, we're gonna call you the pro, correct? I mean, everybody wanted to call
I'm
me
not.
the pro, but
I'm not
you're-
calling me
but
that.
we're calling it Joe versus the pro. I think we should each take $10,000
Oh,
and
nice.
do a contest, and you do your trades, and I'll do my trades.
I think that's a great idea.
Do you? And see if you can crush me or if I can crush you.
And people,
It's Joe versus the pro.
And it's going to be funny because, like a lot of people talked about yesterday, you know, timing is everything. So sometimes short term, it could be very interesting.
Joe versus the pro. And I'm Joe.
A little friendly competition.
Friendly? I don't like losing, Tom. I don't like losing.
I'm well aware.
Even though I just lost 20-some% today.
But you didn't see, this is what you do to yourself. You didn't lose 20%. You just didn't gain that 20%.
I know. That's what everybody says. So to me, that's losing.
You lost out. It's an opportunity cost.
Right.
But it's hard to pick the top. It's hard to pick the bottom. I am still saying I think this rally is on. I'm going to zoom out a little bit for a minute. We should put a poll up. We have no poll.
You think the rally's on?
Poll? That's the poll?
You think the rally's on, huh? It's go time. Is it go time, Tom?
Is it go time? I mean, we're in the middle of go time.
It's go time. Go time. Jeez. Started with 10,000. Brought it down to 3,000. No, actually brought it down to 1,500. Now it's back to 3,000. Right?
Huh? What? Where? Yeah.
Maybe we're just talking about the 10K challenge.
The 10K challenge got destroyed. It was down over 90. No, sorry. Over 80% at the end of the year. And that was basically the bottom of the market for Bitcoin. And that one, the key error in that philosophy that we did, and obviously it was a bad year for all stocks, was there was no dollar cost averaging. We put the money in right up front, and within 4 weeks it was all invested, and that's my mistake. I should have stretched that out over the year.
Well, the pro can do it the right way this next time.
Well, that's right. We get another.
Right?
That's right. I love it. And George is super competitive, so. All right, here we go. Is the Bitcoin rally on? So we got three choices. Bitcoin 35K, which would be a big move up from here, right? We're at 30,400, so we're about in the middle. Or do we go back down? I know the rally's on, and it seems like everything's straight to the moon from here, but do we go back down and test this very, very strong line at 25,200? I mean, we were stuck at this line for a long, long time, so that is not impossible, or is it just on Bitcoin to the moon? All right. FV702, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Need some charts. Bitcoin target. So should we talk some Bitcoin target price? Do a little charting? I mean, I think we're... So I'll just show you. I mean, I'm going to show you my 1 day that I'm on and show you that I don't think. So I've I hid this line because I felt like it was jinxing us, but I'll just make it a little clearer.
Jeez, George, why did you sell? I did it because I care about you guys, okay? I did it to help you guys out. I said this thing needs to run. How can I get it to run?
Did it for the children.
Did it for the people. Right?
That's why we do it. So here's what I'll just tell you guys what I'm looking at. And I know there's a lot of people that think there's some stronger lines of resistance in the middle, but I don't. So I got my dotted line here at 30,000. We've been managing to stay above that. We did close below that. The daily candle yesterday closed below that. So that was meaningful. So we are still fighting that fight. I've got a yellow line here at 30,920. So we are now 1.5% away from that line. That will be a 100% move up for Bitcoin since November 21st. So, you know, we are knocking on the door. If we can just take a little move up, we will have a full double on Bitcoin. So that does, you know, that's rare. Yes, it does happen. These are the things that happen in Bitcoin. And oftentimes a 100% run, you know, foretells a 200 or 300% run up. Those are not gigantic run ups versus what Bitcoin has done historically. Now, we're talking bigger dollar volumes, so we'll see what happens. And I'm not calling that. I don't think we're going straight to the moon. I do think we're going to continue to go up, and I see very little resistance. So this is just a line for fun. That's when we hit a double. So that's not a line of resistance. I see a little bit of an area somewhere around 31,400, but I don't think that's a very strong area. I could see the run from 30 to 33. So if we go back, let me go to the 1 week, because you really got to go way back to see what's, you know, we haven't been.
Oh, should I give a shout out to my daughter? She turned 21 today.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
She's 21. Can you imagine? How do I have a kid 21? That doesn't even make sense.
Time flies. It's insanity. So, if you look back, I mean, this is on the 1 week. I got a line at 31.4 here that, you know, this is not a very strong line. It starts right here, but you can see it kind of, there's a little bit of action here. I think this is a pretty weak line. I think it could blow right through this up to this $33,000 line. You know, that was a low. That was support back in over a year ago in January of 2022. So I just don't see. You can look on the, so from here back, this gets easy. From December to the beginning of time, we never traded in this range. So we've only ever been between 30 and 33,000. 1, 2, and then this one doesn't even count. We just went straight down. We went from 34 to, you know, 19 in a very short period of time. So this is not an area we've ever spent a lot of time in. So this little spot right here, you can see the last time on the way down, we did spend some time around here. So, you know, that's why I think 31.4, you know, maybe there's a little bit of resistance at the top of this little, but it's not much. I think that there's not big resistance out there, in my opinion. So I think there is a potential that we keep running from here.
I think it's running because of the Bitcoin conference, by the way, guys. I think it's safe until after that.
I know a lot of people are doing this. So if you go, and it depends, you know, how you want to do this. If you want to go from the wicks or the really, I mean, if we want those, I mean, I could argue something like that, but that looks like we're about to break out of that if you want to draw that line. But that's, I would argue, well, it's virtually the same line. But somewhere in here you can see we're just about, if we can break to the upside from here, that breaks out of some type of what has resembled a line of resistance to the upside. We've candle wicked above it many times if you take it this way. If you just want to move it out here, then, you know, we still have some room. So, you know, that kind of intersects as a matter of coincidence with this line, but I'm not looking at, I don't think this line's very important. I'm deleting it. Sour Melon Gaming said all these miners are still insanely undervalued despite their run. So the only thing that I would say to that is I'm not sure it's all the miners. I think a lot of the miners are still very undervalued. I do still think you got to pick, you know, the winners versus the losers. And maybe it's not even winners and losers. It's, you know, the winners versus those that are maybe just going to linger and break even. Losing doesn't mean they're going to go out of business. It just means they're not going to have the kind of runs that the winners are going to have. So I agree. There's an awful lot on this board that I think still can go way, way up. Most of these stocks are still down 70 or 80 or 90%.
Hang
even
on,
after this rally.
I got to interject. F52, I hate myself so much. Well, I'm with you, brother. Because you didn't sell CleanSpark yesterday. I did. Sorry, go on.
What did F52 do?
I don't know what he did. He just says, I hate myself so much, so I just figured I'd ask. At least you don't feel...
Don't hate yourself. Don't look back. You can
always look forward.
That's the only thing you can do in whether it's investing or life. It's if you lament on the past.
State Farm Alex says, guys, looking at to the left, heavy resistance at 31,688. Pullback expected.
I feel like Alex has made it clear that he is not affiliated with State Farm.
I know. I just find it funny, though. I told you all not to sleep on Stronghold.
So Alex is saying 31,688 is where he sees some heavy resistance. Pullback expected. What are you saying? What are you thinking, George?
I'm thinking I wish I was Edmund. 138K in Wolf, or does that mean you have 138 shares?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be real nice.
Edmund, I know Edmund jumped on the Wolf. He jumped early on Wolf, so I know he's up big.
The only thing I did wrong, I think, is that I didn't shift back into something else. That's what I was planning on doing yesterday, the pullback, and I just didn't do the trigger. That's my fault, you know? That's me. Because I was going to switch and go to Wolf. Go all in on Wolf.
I mean, at least your money is still in that way, but I am always scared of chasing around because look what would have happened. You would have taken your money out of the one that was just about to have a big run up. Not that Wolf's having a bad day either. Wolf's doing just fine today, but, you know, this isn't their big day. They've had a gigantic run up. So they're up 11%. I mean, Wolf's at $1.51. It was just 3 days ago we were saying, can they get over $1? And they're at $1.51. That's why I say, like, when we look at stocks, even the ones that are still down, Any's at 37 cents. I bought into Any with the assumption that they're getting back over $1. They're not going to have to do a reverse stock split. So obviously that's my opinion. So, you know, don't do anything accordingly. You guys use your own judgment, but that's the trajectory these are taking. And Any has a nice balance sheet in my opinion. So I think they're poised they're just getting all their machines hooked in. They're going to be at 1.5 exahash, which is going to be a dramatic increase. So I think by April, and they've been doing monthly operational updates, and I think April's is going to look very good, and May's is going to look excellent for them. So I feel like there's some run ahead for Any. That's my thoughts on Any. Strength of balance sheet, and they're finally getting their machines plugged in. So...
Do you guys have exit strategies for these things at this point in time, or no? Or are you just going to leave it? That's a good question. I think.
Yeah, drop in the chat if you guys have.
It's not the pro asking. That's the Joe asking.
Well, everybody's got
Joe
their...
investor.
Everyone, you know, we're going to have a lot of different strategies, I'm sure. There's swing traders, day traders, even if you're a long-term trader, you have to have some exit strategy. Your strategy can't be, I'm going to hold it for 50 years.
If we do that contest, Tom, I'm only doing one trade.
Are
and
you,
I think I'll beat you.
you're not going to tell me what it is, though. Don't
No,
tell me what it is.
you
I mean,
know it.
once we do it, you can tell me.
Once I say I'm only doing one trade, you know exactly what it is. That's it. I'm done. It's still the best performing thing, Tom.
I know. There's no
It's
doubt.
just I'm looking at it right now. I'm just shaking my head.
Never fails. We're at 64 likes, everybody. If you could please smash the like button, I appreciate it. Thanks to the 64 people who have already smashed the like button. We're on our way to 100 likes. That's our goal. Midday live stream. Bitcoin's on fire. 30,446 right now. I'm going to go back to the 15-minute time chart because you can see this is near our top of the day. So we officially got to 30,627. That is higher than we got yesterday when we had this one giant green candle yesterday. That's when CPI data came out and everybody overreacted in one direction, and then it turned right around, and you can see we ended up going down from there. But so that was the new high for 2023. So this 15-minute candle 2 candles ago, this is the new high for 2023. So we got to 30,627. I think we're going to keep going up from here, but I will always say I came into this year thinking, this is going to be another year of volatility. So, and here we see it because let me see if I have this thing up. Okay, so here's yesterday. Red. Hive down 5%. Cleanspark had a great day yesterday. Other than that, Cypher down 8%, Iris down 6%, BitDigital down 9%, Gree 9%, Wolf 5%. So Stronghold 8%. You can see there are a couple of exceptions, but yesterday was an awful. So this is the volatility I'm talking about. Yesterday was an awful day. The day before that was legendary. I mean, look at these 19.7%, 23, 25%. So great day, terrible day, and now so far, and the day's not over, but this is a spectacular day. Even though we don't have any 20 to 25% on the board at the moment, overall, this is actually even a stronger day than it was 2 days ago. So
yeah,
we got to get. I would like to get to. I would really like to get to this line. This is and there's no actual meaning in this other than this would be a double for Bitcoin. So, that would be nice. I don't want to. You'd hate to fall 1% short of. You'd hate to have a 99% run up and not get to that 100. So I'm hoping there's still, and it seems like let's face it, the bulls are in control right now, and that's been true really for most of the year in 2023. There have been a few pullbacks, which is natural. I expect there will be more pullbacks, right? We're going to retest. This stuff can't just go up in a straight line forever, so we will have some pullbacks and some retests. But now we're starting to put distance between this line. So if we're lucky, maybe our retest is at 28.8. I still think it's on the table that we could retest 25,000. So I'm not saying that's the next move. I think the next move is up. But these two very strong points right here, in my opinion, are still on the table. It could happen. Austin said Wolf plus Iris Energy. Iris is up almost 18% today. Wolf 15% today again. I'm going to pull up the Wolf chart because this is fun. That's why. Look at what Wolf has done. I got to get on the chart. From March 16th, so today is April 13th. That is not yet 1 month. Wolf's up 192% in less than a month. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, so the last 5 trading days, Wolf's up 78%. So, I mean, these are big, big moves. And Wolf was overdue, and, you know, it's having its run. And that's a huge, I mean, obviously, that's a massive, massive run up. And I know a lot of subscribers and members did get in on this trade because they let us know that they were buying, you know, down here in this time frame. They were adding. And anybody who added, and this was a long opportunity. This was from February 2nd until, really, it didn't break out until March 30th. That's almost 2 full months of opportunity of consolidation, you know, to dollar cost average in here. So I know a lot of you guys did that. So congratulations to everybody who participated on the Wolf trade. That was a big, big win.
What do you think? Do you think they talked to somebody in the marketing and came up with a different strategy? Because all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, they started really pumping some good tweets and being very, you know, open and honest about their investment strategy and their hodl and everything.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a part of it. Every little bit helps. I do feel like this was just... I did a video back here. If you watch my video that I did when it went from here to here, my head almost exploded in this video. I thought this was the stupidest move. Sorry, you know, that was my feelings, and I made it crystal clear. This got crushed, right? This was in one day. It was down 35%, and to me, what they did on this day saved their whole business. And it went from a business that was almost certainly going out of business to a business that it looks like is going to thrive. So, you know, the stock crashed on that day, which is why I jumped in. And these moves happen all the time. There was no... I know, obviously, I was in the minority on this day, but, you know, thankfully, a lot of people jumped into this at the bottom and made a nice run up. There was no... These things happen in the stock market. I'm going to call them stupid. Maybe that's a bad word to use. They're temporary insanity, I guess, is what I would say. And this is dilution. So here it goes back to my big sticking point. One of the things they did was they did $32 million of stock dilution. So all of a sudden everybody said, got to sell them. And it was like the mother of all sell-offs. What kind of... Where's the volume?
Did we ever get, what's his name, a response?
Look at this volume. Look at this volume on this day. So this was like abandoned ship in mass quantities. And every one of these people were wrong. They were wrong. Am I wrong? What do you...
Right now, you're not wrong. How long do you plan on holding them? I mean, do you have a idea or no?
I do actually think at the moment Wolf's getting a little heavy, and I would consider taking some profits because it's a newer trade for me. It's not one of my highest conviction trades over the long term. My conviction was this move was ridiculous. I mean, it was up here around $1.15, and they dramatically improved their business, and they fell under $1. So to me, this part was the no-brainer. From here up, I will tell you, I don't know, you know, from $1.50 to $2 and $2.50, I have less conviction than I did really from, you know, this 75-cent area, 70 to 75 cents to, like, you know, $1.25 or $1.30. I thought was a no-brainer. I don't usually do swing trades, but when one presents itself like this, I mean, this was just silly.
So how do you know? I mean, what are you looking at because of that, Tom? Are you just looking at how fast it went up? Are you looking...
Well, the recovery's been huge, but on this day, I mean, they had a very specific press release. They did several things, one of which was stock dilution to the extent, in several different ways, they raised $32 million. here's the thing. They needed $32 million. They were going out of business. This was a company that if they did not restructure their debt and get money, it's just math. That's not like a forecast or a prediction. They're just, when you're going to run out of money, there's one reason companies go out of business. They run out of money. This company was out of money with, no hope in sight other than the fact that, there was some strong fundamentals under there, and their lender was willing to work with them, restructure the debt, and then they raised more money. So, that's everything. If you wrote a plan, if only Wolf could do ABC, they could turn the corner and be a great stock. Well, they did ABC, and the stock tanked 35%. So you get those all the time, though. So these are, I don't do a lot of swing trades. But when I see something like this happen, it's just, I can't resist. And it doesn't always play out exactly like this. Trust me, the market can be crazy for a long time, right? This could have gone sideways for 6 months for all I know. I just knew this didn't make sense, and at some point, somewhere, it was going to correct itself. It's fortunate and lucky that it was very quickly, right? I'm not saying that on this day I knew, 2 months later we were going to be up 200%. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this was a blatant opportunity.
There was another company that you were talking about that had a lot of cash, and you said that they're not going to go out of business, and everybody, what was the name of that company? It's not a miner. It's a different.
Oh, that was Nano Dimensions.
Nano Dimensions.
Yeah, they had $1 billion.
Have they ever done anything?
They're still pretty sideways. So, their company was worth.
I know you got a lot of hate for that video. That's why I just.
Well, and their company was worth. So it's a company that had no debt, right? So debt is zero. Overhead was tiny. Overhead was about 1% cash burn annually, and they had over $1 billion in cash, and they had a $500 million market cap. So there's just no explaining that. Like that should not exist in nature. So that was another one. And that went on and on. So there's a discrepancy that, took a long time to start correcting itself.
And they still, how much money do they have left?
I haven't even looked at them in the last 60 days. So I don't know what they're doing right now. I just knew when their market cap was $500 million and they had $1 billion in cash and zero in debt, and virtually no cash burn at all. That means what you're saying is you think that $1 billion is worth $500 million. So that's either some monumental vote that you think management is so unbelievably bad that they're going to find a way to lose all that money. So, maybe that's what people thought. But that's how I look at it. So someone else could come in and argue, yeah, but I know I know a lot about the president and the vice president, and these guys love to just waste cash, and this is all gonna end up in the garbage, and so okay, maybe, but I'd rather take my chances on that one. FV702 said, for sure, Wolf videos helped a lot to make a great decision. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. Thanks for the comment. Edmund, between Tom's 2 Wolf videos and researching the company, Wolf was a no-brainer. Thank you, Edmund. Yes. So, see, that's what we always talk about on this channel. I try to just put my information out that I'm looking at, and, you guys we have a lot of high-quality investors that are subscribers and members on this channel, and you guys do your own due diligence, and bam. A lot of you guys do better than I do. I know that. Right? Some of you guys...
You do better than Joe.
There's times, George, there's been times you've beaten me over... It's hit or miss, and it's all about... But for me, I'm on a different... I'm long term. So I'm not looking... I would have to take a different strategy. If we do our head-to-head, I will invest a little bit differently than I invest the rest of my money. Because I want to win in the short term.
This is interesting.
We're stuck at 79 likes.
Oh, I should like the stream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you don't mind. Anybody who could smash the like button.
No, I
helps
didn't
the
want to
stream a lot.
smash it because I knew I was going to get hate today.
Yeah, but you gotta like your own stream.
Not when I make a stupid decision like that. At least it's coming back down 390.
Oh, we're getting a little pullback.
Yeah, but Bitcoin's still very nice.
So Alex says Nano Dimension is shopping to buy a company, Murchison. JR said, "You the man, Tom. Thank you, JR. Right back at ya."
Oh, this thing just wow.
And FE702 saying, so at north of 30K, does BlackRock come in more aggressively in the sector? I think BlackRock very quietly has been investing in this sector despite their annual letter to shareholders about how,
Evil Bitcoin is.
how evil Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
Well, let's just that's not the one I want to talk about right now. Apple. No, we don't care about Apple. So who's the number 1 and number 2 holder in Marathon? Vanguard and BlackRock. By the way, they're the number 1 and 2 they're the number 1 and 2 holder in any particular order of like 70% of all stocks in the entire stock market. But you can see they are by far the biggest holders of Marathon, right? The next one is Morgan Stanley, which is a monster at 1.9%, and then State Street, which is usually top 5 at 1.7%. So they can whine and cry all they want in their annual shareholder letter, but they're in this business. They've almost, BlackRock's got 8.6 million shares and Vanguard's got almost 11 million shares. And then if I go to Riot, my guess is it's going to be a pretty similar scenario. Oh, what do you know? Vanguard and BlackRock. They actually own
Change
more.
the password.
They actually own more money in these than they do in Marathon. So Vanguard 15 million shares, and remember at the moment Riot is actually trading more per share than Marathon is. So BlackRock 11 million shares, 6.8, almost 7% and 9%. Just these two companies own 18% of this of the outstanding stock in Riot. And then once again, you've got Morgan Stanley in third and State Street in fourth. So, you look at what they do. I try to look at what are they doing, not what are they saying, not what FUD are they spreading around for their own personal benefit so that they can make money in their own investing. What are they actually doing? Vanguard and BlackRock are the number 1 and 2 investors in Riot and Marathon. Now, a lot of the other rest of the sector may still have a lot of room to grow because these guys haven't jumped in yet, but they will. So I'm looking because I haven't even looked at this in a little while. So let's see where Cleanspark's at. I'm stunned. BlackRock and Vanguard. These numbers don't make any sense, though. These add up to much more than 100%. So I'm not sure what these percentages are, but you can see, here you go again. The top 2 holders, BlackRock and Vanguard. And I don't know what the real percentage is here, but they have 4 million shares. That's about 5%, I guess, right now. So, and Vanguard has less than that. So there's a lot more money that could pour in just from these guys, and it may have this week for all I know. These numbers might be up the next time we get a report. Because somebody jumped into Cleanspark in a big way. And my guess is, the BlackRock and Vanguard aren't letting other people catch up and pass them. But if we look at, so for instance, what? So the quote-unquote Canadian miners, and I say that mostly Bitfarms, Hut, Hive, DigiHost really was, and I think still is listed on the Canadian exchange as well. These guys all are now listed on both exchanges, so they're on the NASDAQ. But Bitfarms, I'm guessing, the last time I looked, they had not really started getting institutional adoption the way the other ones did. So, yeah. Here you have BlackRock at 0.5%. So guess what? You think they're going to stay out of that forever? So here's a rare stock. So this is actually literally something that's, in my opinion, worth looking at. Here's a stock BlackRock hasn't even started buying yet. And I don't even see Vanguard. Go ahead, George.
Was that because it's Canadian?
I mean, they were listed a long time after on the NASDAQ. Marathon and Riot had been listed for a long time first. They are based in Canada, so I think that might be a factor, but that does not stop them. BlackRock has investments all over the world, and this is an investment. This is a NASDAQ traded stock, so I expect a year from now when we look at BlackRock, they're going to be in first place on Bitfarms just like they are on everything else. Or second place if Vanguard jumps in and Vanguard's in first. So this is potential opportunity. Now, if you think Bitfarms is going to fail, and maybe you'll think BlackRock's going to stay away from them. I mean, what is BlackRock's big thing? ESG. Well, Bitfarms is almost 100% hydro. So they're all virtually all clean energy. So what's their argument against them other than they just haven't picked them yet and they haven't moved in? So we'll see what happens.
They just secured additional power too.
Yes, exactly. They just secured, I can't remember how much it was. It's going to be 0.6, I think 0.6 exahash, 22 megawatts of power.
I was thinking, wow, it's too bad Hut couldn't have done that. Sorry, Hut.
Yeah, I mean, Hut definitely has made their choice. They want to go in this other direction that, and I'll tell you, one of the reasons they specifically said, I mean, Sue said this outright, and management has said it. They're part of this merger. They're going to become a United States-based company versus a Canadian-based company. And why is that important? It shouldn't be important, but the fact is, the NASDAQ is so many multiples bigger than all the other exchanges. This is where all the money is. So while they're listed on the NASDAQ, they're not a company that's based in the U.S. I believe that they believe if they can get their share price over $5 and they're a U.S.-based company, they're going to get massive adoption from the institutions at some point in the next, whatever the case may be, year and a half. So I think that's what Hut 8's plan is. They have a super strong balance sheet. So again, BlackRock's down here at 0.2%. If Hut 8 merges with, what is it, US Bitcoin, and they are based out, I think based out of Miami, right? If they're a Miami company, BlackRock's going to be in. I'm just telling you right now. Like,
are they not in Hut?
They have a monstrous 0.2% position.
Oh, wow.
So they're not in. And
well, they could be in. They could be in now.
They could be in by now, for all we know. That's right, because this says reported.
I have a
December
question.
30th.
How often do they have to report that? Is there like another place where they have to report that?
Yeah, I have to. Yes, and I don't.
Sorry,
know
I'm just the average Joe investor, okay?
No,
I wouldn't know where to go to look for that stuff.
You could look right on BlackRock's website, actually, and see what their investments are. So, if you wanted to do a deep dive and figure out what their...
Is that www.aladdin.com?
I don't believe so, but it'd be interesting to see what you get there. Alex is saying,
you know who Aladdin
day
is, right?
2 out of 10 above $1. Yes. So we need 10 days in a row, and once that comes off the table, I really do think there's going to be an even stronger move in Bitfarms, because that is hanging over their head, and people do worry about that, and I understand. I mean, this is now the third time Bitfarms trying to put 10 days in a row together, so it's not a given, right? We've already been down this road twice, and it didn't happen. I think it's going to happen this time, but that's just me.
Tom. We were talking about EVs yesterday. Remember that conversation?
Yes, indeed.
And do you remember I said, I think it was yesterday, at least I was right about something. I said, well, what happens when the government gets in on this? And you heard what happened yesterday, right?
No, what happened yesterday?
2027? Oh, no. They changed the requirements for fuel consumption in 2027. I didn't read it yet, but this is a new executive order being sent out.
Oh, we got an executive order coming out?
Yeah. So I would think that maybe one of those, what'd you call it, plug, or what's the other one?
Well, plug is a hydro. You got, you're talking about the
Not
EV
plug.
charging stations.
Yeah. Who is it?
Yeah,
Charge Point,
Blink,
and
EVgo,
Blink,
and then somebody introduced us to one that I had not yet seen, that I was going to look into, so I have that on my list. I haven't looked into it yet. Scott Richardson said, "Yo, Tom and George, hello, welcome to the stream. Andrew, welcome.
Hello.
Alex, welcome, and everybody, welcome. I
la.
haven't said hello to. Welcome to the stream. Thank you to all the members that are on the stream
Model
right now.
Y.
I see a lot of members on the stream, so much appreciated."
Yeah, I thought you just didn't want to tell me, 702. I'm like, he just doesn't want to tell me what kind of Tesla he bought. This is for Colton. Hi, even though you're not here, I know you're watching.
You're watching later.
You're watching later. No, but do you think that could be an opportunity now for maybe to make a good play in that? Or no? Is it still too early?
So, all right, I'll do a spoiler alert. I'm going to do a video on this, but lately it's been taking me a long time to get some of these videos out because so much action is happening in Bitcoin. I really feel like these live streams are a lot more productive. But I'm looking at, so not financial advice, and I want to do the deep dive and tell the whole story because one little piece of the story doesn't tell all. But ChargePoint's getting interesting to me.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, because I would imagine that with everything going on with these new regulations, that these, again, maybe even they're gonna. I don't know what they're doing yet. I don't know exactly, what the requirements are, or if it's a carbon footprint or something like that. If I had to guess, it's probably what they're gonna do.
I mean,
instead of miles.
The EVs are coming.
Right.
I don't know, is there something coming even after that? I think so. I think hydrogen's out there, beyond the electric vehicles, but that's much further out. Although there's a lot of practical applications for hydro that they're using as short term. And one of the most fascinating of which is they can use hydrogen to charge the EV stations that charge the EV cars. So, there's a hydrogen and an EV play.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of change. There's theoretically, even if we're going to have 20 or 30 or 40% of the cars on the road be electric vehicles, we need to have the infrastructure, a grid, if you will, of charging stations. So it's been mystifying to me how the charging stations really have been in a very big bear market for a long time. Alex is saying, George, just buy Bitcoin and you cannot lose.
You tell me when to buy it. I'm going to buy it after the next pullback. I was thinking about putting in a 6-figure investment.
Straight into the Bitcoin itself.
Yes, straight into the Bitcoin. Screw these miners. I'm thinking that I can't believe I'm going to say this.
What are you going to say?
ETH.
George is on board.
No, I'm not on board really, but it looks like it's going to make a nice little run. You know that?
The last time I looked this morning, ETH did jump back over $2,000. So let's see what $1,999.81. So it is hanging out It is hanging out at 2,000. Got up to $2,010. On my Robinhood chart, it actually got up over 2,000 much earlier in the day today. So all these charts are a little different. You know, I use TradingView as my main thing that I use. This is TradingView Coinbase. But even on this one, they're pegged at $2,000. They're 45 cents off of it right now, so.
Yeah, I sold a house that I had up in New York, and I got an extra $1 or $2.
Scott said he sold Riot for Wolf, so I don't blame anybody taking profits on Riot. That run up has been, let's just take a look, shall we? So Riot, for those of you who were not on the last couple of streams, I have a green line on every single Bitcoin miner other than the one that George picked randomly yesterday. I apparently didn't have a line on that one for some reason, but other than that, this is August of 2022. This is the last time Bitcoin was at $25,000. Ever since then, we've been under that until February of 2023. So, you know, I've been comparing how the Bitcoin mining companies are doing versus this price target. Riot has now skyrocketed past this. There is no other Bitcoin miner that is above this, and I'm going to check Wolf because today they might have gotten above this line. Most of the Bitcoin miners still need to move somewhere on the magnitude of about 100% increase in their price just to get back to where they were last August of 2022. So there's a lot of other variables, I understand. This is only one way to look at it. But from this perspective, you've got Riot. You know, Riot's up 30% from there. And I'm going to go to Wolf just to check because I think maybe today was the day it crossed. Who was it? Cypher. Sorry, it was not Wolf. It was Cypher. And yes, so today, you know, a day's not over, but if this green candle can hold, it will be the only other one that has now caught up to August of 2022. And remember, Bitcoin hit 25,200 in August of 2022. We're at 30,459 right now. So we are well past that. And again, I know there's a lot of other variables that come into play, but you know, that's why you got to do your due diligence. But this is one of the, so I'm just going to pick a card, any card. Let's go like Hive. So I gotta do this. This is how far away they are. I gotta shrink the, right? I mean, Hive, and this is typical. It's not like I just picked, you know, like one of the bad ones. Hive has to go up 90%. Even after its 10% run today, Hive has to go up 90% just to get back to where it was last August. So that's where most of these sit. I'll pick, here, Cleanspark. And Cleanspark, you can see, Cleanspark's been on fire. This 1, 2, 3, 4-day run, that's been 67% in the last 4 days. Yet, oh, hold on, I gotta shrink the screen down again. They need to go up about 72% more just to get back to where they were last August. So I know a lot of you will go, well, they've done a lot of dilution since then. Well, they're also at purchase ordered 16 exahash of Bitcoin mining machines. So all in, do your own due diligence. But this is one of the ways that I look at this that I think is very meaningful. So this all started with, who was it? I think maybe Scott saying, yeah, he sold some Riot for some Wolf. So, you know, one of the reasons I would argue that makes sense is look at the run. Riot's the only one that's taken this run up. So if some of you are taking profits in this, you know, good for you. It's not financial advice. I can't tell you guys what to do one way or the other. And I do think Riot long-term is going to be at numbers that decimate any of these numbers. But, I mean, from their lows, Riot from its low, this was December 28th. So if I go from there to here, Riot's up 317% in 3.5 months. So, and that's the largest market cap stock. So it's not like, you know, that was an $18 million stock that, It's not a big deal in market cap. This is a over a $2 billion market cap company now, and it was down under a $500 million. So yes, no complaints to anybody who's maybe switching out of Riot, which is already up 300% into, and that's the strategy you were just talking about, George. Maybe taking profits on some of the ones that have run up to the moon and switching into some of the other ones that are maybe up and coming and it's maybe about to be their turn.
I mean, that's why I was talking about the charging stations. I'm thinking that might be a good play. I don't know. What's the average return for an investor in a year? For the average Joe investor?
I mean, the average return over the course of history in the U.S. stock market's been something like 7 or 8%.
Okay. So when I'm thinking
year.
of doubling, that's
100%. So that would be 100%, and that. Listen, people have those years. People have years that are better than that.
Right.
But that's by no means anybody's standard. There's no hedge fund out there going, hey, put your money with us. We do 100% a year. That's not even their goal. Even like the aggressive hedge funds, if they're doing 20 or 25%, they're hitting home runs, and that's annualized. So like this run in Riot is 300% in 3.5 months. So annualized, I mean, that's off the charts. But that's just one stock.
So that's all I got to do.
All you got to do is double your money.
Interesting.
But, it depends on your and some people, they need those years where they 2x because they have years like 2022 where they get crushed. I got crushed in 2022. That's just what happened. So yeah, I'm having
Looks
an
like
outsized.
I picked out the wrong time to invest in the stock market. I got in November of 2021.
Yeah, and that was the peak. For the stock market, it was the peak. For Bitcoin, it was the peak. But, we've been through the ringer already. So, FE7 said we've passed 100 likes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for getting us past 100 likes.
This was the fastest time ever.
Bitfarms is running right now. Yeah, Bitfarms is up almost 15%. So a little bit more. I want to see $1.50, and then people are going to give up the dream of pushing it back under $1, in my opinion. So that's what it's running there. You can see I'm on the wrong chart. Let's go to Bitfarms. So, okay, now Bitfarms finally just got every one of my charts also has a blue line somewhere in February when Bitcoin hit 25,000. So again, we're now at 30,500, 30,400. So we're way above that. Yet it took a 15% increase today just to get back to this number. So if you look at where Bitfarms was, that last August number that I use as a benchmark, and again, this is not the only number I use, but this is one of the things that I look at. Bitfarms still needs to go up 85% just to get back to where it was last August when Bitcoin was at $25,000. So that is a piece of a puzzle that you can look at, and I think that's an important piece. Right, and we just saw Riot's already 30% past this point. So in the same period of time, Riot's 30% above this, and Bitfarms has to go up 85% to get to this. Let's see, I'm just trying to catch up. So Crypto Golfer's making a good comment. Taxable event when you start switching back and forth. So bear that in mind, right?
I lost so much last year.
Oh, you got You got enough. You got enough to write it off against, so you're good. Alex said, not financial advice, George. Buy Beam Global. So Alex and I are on the same page. If you want to talk about EV charging stations, and a lot of people call this a solar play, and I guess it's both, so everybody's right. To me, that should be the no-brainer giant winner in the EV space. Not because they're going to dominate this sector, because they do something different that nobody else does, that I think it's a big, big, big demand for, and things are going well for them. So I'm not sure why their stock is stagnant, other than all the EV stocks have been stagnant.
Don't they charge like $70-some thousand for that charging station?
They do, but that is pocket change compared to what you're going to pay to get. Let's say you go to ChargePoint. I mean, you're going to pay 7-figure money, and it's going to take a year or so to install it. So this, for plus or minus 60 or 70 grand, if I order it today, I can have it tomorrow. So if I'm a big company like Google or something, and I want some EV charging stations in my parking lot, do I want to permit, go through the ringer and spend millions of dollars, or do I just, maybe I buy 5 of those? And the government agencies are buying them like crazy. So I won't get obsessed on Beam as I sometimes do. Alex, you got me on this one, but that is a long-term hold for me, and I'm just holding. There's nothing I can do. It's gone sideways for a long time. It doesn't make sense to me, but it will. I believe it will have its day. Gary saying,
I'm at a loss for words still at seeing 20.4%, 20.5% for CleanSpark.
I know. That was, this was their action for the year.
Yeah.
20%. So now today happened to be their day. And
you don't. Basically, they made today what they've made all year.
That's right. So that's
Eric, you got me.
That's those
those guys are watching. Right? Hey guys, how are you? You got me. Funny.
They were waiting.
They were.
Matt and Zach and everybody were over there going, when's George getting out? We're gonna
stop selling our shares that day.
Alex is saying, and you can charge 6 EV vehicles. So, right, back on Beam, company is spelled B-E-A-M, ticker is B-E-E-M. You can charge multiple cars at a time. Now, this does not replace a charging station. It's a slow process. It can only do so much. It's off the grid. It's 100% off the grid. It's 100% solar powered. So, even if the electric grid went down and you have an EV car, if you have one of these, you can still charge your car. So I think it has a very nice place in the overall market. I don't know why it's taking so long, other than all of that stuff has just been out of favor for the last year and a half. So I think we just gotta wait for the rotation.
Do I do like the stupidest average Joe move and get back into CleanSpark?
No.
Question mark?
I mean, if it was me, I would not do that. Having said that, if you want to look at this another way, I have sold none of my CleanSpark, so.
Yeah, but what's your average in price?
Just on this run, I got back above my average price. I just went positive on CleanSpark on this run up. I was at $335.
Oh, okay.
So I've been down for a long time on CleanSpark.
Interesting.
So those are the only. I'm positive on Riot now. I'm positive on CleanSpark now. I'm still massively down on Bitfarms, which originally was my biggest position. It's only not my biggest position because they're doing so poorly.
Tom.
Yes.
Time for another poll.
Let's see how this one ended, and we'll do another poll. All right, so we're pretty optimistic, but this was not a runaway. Well, 64% think we're going to 35,000, 18%, and we got 132 votes. That might be the most votes we ever got in a poll on the stream anyway. 64%, 35K. You got to add to that 18% more that are saying Bitcoin to the moon. So that's 82% think Bitcoin's going to 35K or higher.
Look at this. Fort Lauderdale in the last 2 days got 25 inches of rain. Isn't that insane? Sorry.
That's are you sure?
That I'm looking at Yahoo right now, and that's what it
25
says.
inches of rain is like, that's the biggest.
Fort Lauderdale was slammed with more than 25 inches of rainfall over the last 2 days.
Wow. They must be flooded. You should look for some pictures. That's got to be a disaster.
I mean, we got, what, maybe an inch over here? Wow.
Yeah, that's like a whole season's worth of rain in 2 days. That's brutal.
Insane. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Sorry.
All right, so 18% do think we're going to go retest a lower number. So overwhelmingly, we think Bitcoin's going up, but there's still 18% that feel like we got to go retest before we head up. So that is the end of that poll. Thank you, everybody who participated in that poll. Crypto Golfer saying the Fort Lauderdale airport is flooded.
Oh, wow.
Is that storm coming our way?
No, that was the storm that we had the last 2 days.
Oh, we just had a little overcast. And
I know, but that was the storm that they're talking about.
Well, they must have saved all the rain for the East Coast, because we didn't hardly get anything. Take a drinking game, take a poll, take a drink. What's our next poll, George? You got something in mind?
No, I'm just thinking we had to do another one. It's getting kind of...
What were we talking about? We
started talking about the EVs, and yeah, we talked about Bitcoin. Obviously, most everybody here is a Bitcoin person. I have one. Is Ethereum going to outpace Bitcoin?
Aha.
Like percentages? Because I'm beginning to think it is. So not the amount, the dollar amount, the percentage that it goes up.
Yes. I'm saying, is ETH going to do better than Bitcoin in 2023?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yep.
So, yeah, obviously that does not mean, so I'll just put as a percent. We're not suggesting it's going to, in real dollars, pass. So this is just a yes or no.
Yeah, this is just pure percentage.
Boom. So is ETH going to do better than Bitcoin in 2023? I just put in parentheses as a percentage. So in other words, if you had money to put in right now, would you buy Bitcoin or would you buy ETH? And I know probably a lot of you would say I would buy some of both. I get that. But if you had to buy one or the other, what do you think is going to do better?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. What's going to do better?
Doc K said he's boating here in Fort Lauderdale. Are you boating out on the water or down the street? Raymond's asking, do you think Riot's going to struggle at $14 maybe with some resistance and retrace a bit? So those are the kind of questions you got to be asking yourself after these types of gigantic run-ups.
Yeah, but are they overvalued yet?
My answer on the stocks that I have conviction in, and Riot is my #1 stock coming into 2023. I made my top 8 stocks, and I ranked Riot #1. So I have a very strong conviction that ultimately that's going to be a much, much, much higher number. For those people who either want to swing trade or maybe mitigate some of their losses through the use of options, the question becomes 14 is a potential line of resistance for them. So do you want to start to protect your money in that area?
Interesting.
Raymond wants to do 93% Bitcoin and 7% ETH. So I think your answer would be, if you were to answer the poll, Raymond, I believe you would pick Bitcoin.
I don't know. I'm going with... Wow, it's interesting to see the poll.
Okay, so somebody's asking me, Someone's asking me what are some of the EV charging stations. So let's just.
Do you think we get an ETF in for Bitcoin this year?
I wish I could find the clip. Actually, I know exactly where the clip is. It's a Yahoo clip, and I'm not going to play it because then they'll give us problems. But just yesterday, the Yahoo ETF person, and I boggled my mind. I watched the clip 5 times. They were saying, oh, the best ETF to be in, they were talking about Bitcoin and how it's doing well. And she's like, yeah, Bitcoin, getting into a Bitcoin ETF right now would be a great decision. And it's like, okay, but there isn't one in the United States. So now there's Bitcoin, I think it's BITO. There's 2 or 3 others that are Bitcoin related. They have Bitcoin mining companies in them and, Coinbase and other Bitcoin related stocks, but there is no Bitcoin ETF. And I do think that there will be. I think that's another monumental catalyst that is coming. Grayscale is not going to stop. And there's a dozen others that are waiting, and there's no line of reasoning. There's no actual line of reasoning other than them being able to say, I have the authority, I'm not doing it. But that's not a line of reasoning. It's just something they can do for the time being, but I think they will lose that in the courts ultimately, in my opinion. So Crypto Golfer said, I voted no. Think we might get a Grayscale ETF. So he said this before I said this. Think we might get a Grayscale ETF approved and some regulation. Bitcoin would do well in both of these scenarios. Yeah, I agree.
But if we get an ETF for Bitcoin, aren't we going to get an ETF then for Ethereum? Ooh.
Well, not necessarily. Ethereum has a lot more intricacies to it. So the case for Bitcoin is a lot stronger. And that doesn't mean there won't be one for Ethereum. I think there will ultimately be one for Ethereum as well, but
interesting. That's my new word today. Interesting.
Fascinating. So ChargePoint, this is one of your pure play. I guess I got to actually go to it. For those who are interested in what are some of the EV charging station plays, this is your big player in the game. This is a $3 billion market cap, but you can see this was a $20 stock. It's an $8 stock. If I do max, I mean, at one point, this was a $46 stock. Now, December 2020, remember December 2020, January 2021, that was a gigantic bubble for all of these types of stocks in this industry and all the small cap, high growth stocks. Those 2 months in particular went to places they've never been before, and I don't know when they'll be back. But this is now down.
Stronghold 0.97, 23%.
Wow.
I mean, you just don't see that.
And they're still. So we just 2 days ago we were like, well, it looks like maybe Stronghold will be the next one to take a run at $1. I wonder how long that'll take. Well, the answer is 2 days.
Wow, that's great.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And that's why, you may think I'm crazy, but I look at any and I say it's at 38 cents. I think that's getting to $1.
Really?
I do.
That's a triple.
Yeah, I think that's getting to $1. So everything else did, pretty much. Stronghold is the second last holdout. There's a few. DMG blockchain. Where are they at? They're at 24 cents. Core Scientific's at 43 cents. So there's still some left under $1. But they were pretty much all around $1 or under. Ty said Bitcoin has much more votes because we are all Bitcoin miner investors. So,
well, it's
Well, there's definitely potentially a bias in this group. There's probably Ethereum channels where they would have the opposite results. But I bet you our group is closer to the general population. I bet you this isn't too far off.
Doesn't that guy, what's his name? Valder? What's his name?
Val Kilmer?
No. It's the guy who's the inventor of ETH.
Oh, the guy whose name we cannot
Vladimir?
pronounce.
Is it Vladimir?
No, it's somebody help us in the comments. I can look it up. You guys know who he's talking about. The Ethereum kid.
Dude, that
I'm calling
kid
him a
just
kid
looks
because
like
he's a kid.
that kid looks like he just computer programs all day long. You know that? I mean, he just looks like he does not shower, he does not bathe, he just is a hardcore programmer.
Well, they have a lot of programming left to do because they got 4 more big changes they're making to Ethereum. And that's part of the reason I think the SEC could argue, hey, we're not going to make an Ethereum ETF until you're done finishing programming it.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, this poll is a runaway.
Yeah, it is.
Ethereum
Wow.
is not, according to us, is not going to outperform Bitcoin. I agree with that. Bitcoin
do?
dominance has been going up. Thank you, Vitalik
Yeah,
Buterin.
wow.
Raymond, thank you, and Crypto Golfer, thank you, and I guess a bunch of people answered. Vlad,
That's
Andy
his
said
nickname.
vitamin butterin. That's George. There's a good mnemonic device for you. Remember, vitamin butterin.
Vitamin Butterman. You guys.
Patrick, percent-wise, maybe ETH will be better this year, but
Yeah,
the
that's
price
what I'm
won't
saying.
surpass Bitcoin probably
Yeah, I'm just
ever.
saying the percentage. Because to me, it just seems like it's a lot easier to go from 2,000 to 4,000 than 30,000 to 60,000.
Well, and they've both been there, done that. So
Right.
it's both are in range. I'm surprised they ran up to 2,000 after, this little event here. I thought this was going to be a step backwards, but it wasn't. At least not for now. Edmund said, I'm back. Wolf's still at $1.54. So Wolf's still up 14%. So let's just take a moment and just go through. I mean, almost everything's a winner. Bitfarms is up to $1.26. So remember, Bitfarms 2 days ago was well under $1. And we were wondering, that was the conversation. Is this ever going to get over $1? Are they in trouble? So, this is not a done deal. This is only day 2 of 10 for Bitfarms. And they have twice gotten to day 5 and day 6. And they've gotten up into the $1.20 range before. So I'm not saying this deal is closed yet. I will wait patiently for the full 10 days before we declare victory. But then I do think somewhere in between now and then or just after, I still think there's a big push left in Bitfarms in my personal opinion. But it's up big today. Hut's up 11%. Hive's up 10%. CleanSpark's up just under 20%. Riot's up 8%. So Marathon's doing a little bit of catch up today. Marathon's up 14.5% versus Riot's 8%. Riot's been outperforming Marathon and kind of putting some distance between each other. There was one
this
person.
is probably institutional money, wouldn't you say?
I mean, I think most of the money, what we just looked, Riot and Marathon are heavily invested by institutions, and
Right.
they're really the only two in the space that are. I had the funniest comment. Somebody made a very angry comment and said, why are you acting like Riot has mined more Bitcoin than Marathon? And then they put in all caps like, because they have not. And it's like, Riot has actually mined way more Bitcoin than Marathon. Riot mined 25% more Bitcoin than Marathon did for the year in 2022. Now, Marathon beat Riot in the month of March. So for 1 month, and I think this is maybe the second time ever that they've beat Riot. And I do expect, ultimately, if these guys get where they're going, there will come a time where Marathon should be mining more Bitcoin per month than Riot every single month. But that time is not now. In the year 2023, they're just about tied. And in the year 2022, it wasn't close. Riot mined a lot more than Marathon. So I like both of those companies. I do own Riot, but I think Marathon, everybody that watches me knows, and you can go back and look, Marathon was a bumpy road last year. They did not perform. So Riot performed all year last year. They did basically what they said they were going to do. Marathon did not do what they said they were going to do, and there's 1,000 reasons why, and they might all be valid, but at the end of the day, it's management's responsibility. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. It's starting to look like they're going to do that. So if they do, I mean, there could be massive. That stock was over $80 at one point. I could easily see it taking out its all-time high.
I got another good poll.
What do you got?
We get 4 stocks. Pick 4 stocks that are in the minors that you think will double first from where we are today. Does that make sense? So where CleanSpark is today, where Marathon is today, where Riot is today, where HUT is today. I wish we could do more. I wonder which one's going to be the next one to double.
We should get in the comments which 4 should we pick? You want me to pick 4, or do we want some suggestions?
Give it a minute. Give you suggestions.
Yeah, so drop in the chat some suggestions. Which ones you think are going to double first?
I have the one. And I didn't even say the name.
All right, so save it.
Any.
Ah.
What?
You did not save it. I was just saying save it. Let them.
Save it. Oh, sorry. I thought you said say it. Say it.
Oh.
Say my name. The next one that will double that, because that's what people want to know about.
Yeah. I mean, where's the momentum? Where's
the momentum going? I mean,
let's see.
But I think it's any. You know that? I think any's looking
all the
really
better
good.
miners under $2 are like perpetual calls. They are cheap and never expire, period. I'm glad you said those exact words, Edmund, because that's exactly how I look at those. You know, because some of these even have call options, and I'm thinking, you know, on a 75-cent stock, why are you going to buy a call option? Just buy the stock. It is a call option. Except, like you're saying, it never expires. I know there's lines of reasoning, and you know, if you're doing that and you're making money on calls, then great. But for me, that's exactly how I look at those. And George's stock that he just picked, any, is a perfect example. I'm not going to go buy an option on any. It's trading at 34 cents or 38 cents. So the option to me is, do you want to buy the stock? Let's just see, because I think they have options. Let's see if anybody does anything with them.
How many exahash does any have?
They're going to have, according to, if they stay on schedule, by the end of April, they will have 1.5 exahash. Now, they've been mining only about 30 to 40 Bitcoin per month. They've been under a half an exahash, because they had to completely redo their business. But they have now made all their power agreements, all their hosting agreements. They have their machines, and it looks like they're poised to get them in place. So while their monthly updates look horrendous, their balance sheet looks healthy to me, and I think they're about to start mining a decent amount of Bitcoin. So,
wow.
And if you look at let's go look at their market cap's $27 million. I mean, if they forget 2x, if they 10x, they're only $270 million. But for instance, I mean, who on earth is going to buy an April option? So nobody is the answer, because nobody's really doing this. But even if you were to go out and say, well, maybe what do the leap options look like? So are you going to spend 20 cents on an option, or are you just going to buy the stock for 38 cents?
Well, Core will double first.
Core Scientifics, that's another one that definitely is a potential double.
It is in a squeeze of BB watch for a break on the weekly chart.
Sanity's Eclipse is in, just added 10,000 shares of any Sphere 3D. Nice. Welcome. Was this your initial purchase in, or is this just adding to your position?
God or Allah answered my prayers. Hey, it looks like you invest like me. Is it Lent?
Did somebody saying Stronghold just went over $1?
Did it really? Oh my goodness.
$1. On fire. absolutely on fire.
And they could go up another, I was just looking, it could go up another 10%.
It's the leader on the day today at almost 27% increase on the day. So just earlier I was saying, well, you know, none of these are in the 20s, but we're having a great day. Well, now we got Stronghold at almost 27. We got Cleanspark at 21. Anybody else closing in? We got Bit Digital, BTBT. Somebody earlier asked me my thoughts on that, so I'll get to that as well. That's up almost 18%, so that could hit 20. We got big movers.
Could today be your biggest day gain ever? 1 day gain?
Today will be my biggest one-day gain for 2023.
Yeah.
In 2021, things were wild. So there were days like this. This was like Tuesday in, you know, the middle of 2021. And then the opposite happened in 2022. So
interesting.
let's see. Let me see who's put some suggestions in for the poll. Well, we know one of them is going to be any. George, do you see any other recommendations?
Well, Core Scientific.
Course, for sure.
Let's see anything else. No.
I'm putting a nomination in. Bitfarms.
Oh, Bitfarms, yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I still have my conviction in Bitfarms. Any other suggestions? Okay, so Sanity's Eclipse, that was your first purchase, so you went in strong, nicely done. Welcome to the Any crowd. The Sphere 3D. The what was going to be Griffin, but isn't. The Gatorade miner. Wolf, Core, Any, Stronghold. That's from Dr. K. You want to put Wolf in as the fourth potential choice for a double?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Stronghold is much more... I'll tell you why. And it's not because I think it's a better company, but even after this gigantic run-up today... So if we go to... If we go to Stronghold, this is now, even after this run-up, this is a $40 million market cap company. If you go to Wolf, this is almost a $300 million company. So from a market cap perspective, I just feel like Stronghold has a better chance than Wolf does, even though, obviously, you know, Wolf's been something we've liked on the channel all year this year. So I'm going to put Stronghold. And that's all it'll let me do. 4 choices. So that is the poll, the new poll, the latest and greatest. Which stock will double first? Any. Stock ticker NAY, Sphere 3D. Core Scientific. Stronghold or Bitfarms. So my contribution to this poll was Bitfarms. So far it's polling at 0. Oh, we got to vote. I was going to wait and see if it was going to get 0. All right, everybody cast your vote if you can. If you will, it's obviously free to vote.
And you can vote more than once if you have multiple accounts.
Vote early and vote often. Jeff, welcome, Jeff. Jeff said Cleanspark. I mean, I could have put them on the list for sure as well. There's a lot more than 4 of these that have a very, very serious chance of doubling. So we just had to pick 4. If it
I just thought it would be a good poll.
Yeah, I'd love to see what people think the answer to this is. Sandy's Eclipse said, I've said it back then. SDIG 100 million plus revenue and 20 million market cap back then. Do the math. Yeah. So sometimes, and then it's a matter of, so that's a perfect example, Sanity's Eclipse, of where you see an opportunity, you know it's an opportunity, you just don't know when. So the question is, when is that situation going to fix itself? And sometimes, you got to wait. And, there's an old saying, which I always get wrong, but something to the effect that, the market can stay insane for longer than you can stay liquid. So, that's
Amen to that.
that's an argument against leveraging yourself for sure. Because no matter how right you are, if you're wrong on the timing, and the market can do foolish things for long periods of time. But I agree with you. When I see those opportunities, you take them and you wait for it. Sour Melon Gaming said Core's about to go bonkers. Nate is my one Bitfarms vote, I think. Maybe we got one more since then.
This is interesting. This is very interesting. It's not anything that I thought it would be. You know what I mean?
Mawson's another one that has the potential to double. I mean, so many of these have the potential to double.
Wow.
But this was, I think these are 4 legit shots at being the first one to double. And what'll be, you know what? Let's save this poll and track it and see if one of these, in fact, is the first one to double, or if something else we didn't even pick jumps ahead of it. So I'm going to save this, and then we'll copy the results. So this was any Coors Bitfarm. And I think I put the wrong ticker. That says SGIG. It's SDIG. So hopefully that's not confusing people. That's Stronghold. So that should say SDIG. That's my typo. Does this skew the entire results? Because it's in last place. So note to everybody. SGIG was supposed to be SDIG Stronghold. My mistake. Edmund saying Wolf will 4x in 2023 from $1.50. So he's calling a 4x to $6. I'd love to see it. I hope you're right. They got a lot of good things going for them. I mean, I like the Wolf story a lot. JD, thank you. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That's correctly said. And that is from JD. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Nate agrees with Edmund on Wolf 4Xing. Lance said you forgot CleanSpark. I wanted to add... These polls, they will only let me put 4 options. I don't know why that is. That's just the rule. So there's at least 10 that stand a super legit chance of 2Xing sooner than later. So it was hard to pick 4, and some good ones got left off the list. Probably CleanSpark might have got more votes than my Bitfarms. So maybe I should have swapped those out.
Why do people hate Bitfarms so much? Or don't believe in it, I shouldn't say. Not hate.
Well, because it's been a long, long struggle. If you've been holding Bitfarms for a long time, you've been banging your head against the wall more often than not. It's had a nice run the last few days to get to a decent place. It did have a big run up. It got down to 37.7 cents. So, if you started buying in at $5 or $6, by the time this thing was down to 37 cents, you're pretty discouraged. You got to have some massive conviction to be even still holding your stock, never mind adding to your position at that point. Because the market putting Bitfarms down to 37%, I mean, realistically, honestly, in my opinion, that means the market was 99% sure that Bitfarms was going out of business. That's what was being priced into the Bitfarms price. Life said, George, XRP.
Woohoo, to the moon.
Let's take a look. Let me refresh our...
Nothing's really going. It's just sitting there.
XRP hanging out at almost 51 cents, but it did have a big
there's
move
a great
up to get to that.
example. I made money in that, and then I just left it alone. All I try to ever do is just make a little and then leave it, and it just never gets there.
But you're in the you're in the spot you've always wanted to be in with XRP. You have a full position and you're up. So you could set a stop loss and probably never stop out at this point and just take the rest of the ride up. So that's ideal. Eric saying, look,
I guess I got lucky.
Well, you know why you stayed in that one, George? That is the one that you researched personally yourself at great length, and so you knew exactly what it was, and you had a strong level of conviction in it. And that's why I always say, like, I don't care if you're watching YouTube and you see 5 YouTubers say the same thing, you might feel real great about that stock on that day, but a week later, you're not going to have that conviction because it wasn't your own. You didn't, you didn't. So that is the key part of doing your own due diligence. It's mainly because you have to convince yourself that when times get tough, I'm going to hold this stock and not buy high and sell low, because that's how people lose money. That's the only way you lose money in the stock market.
Well,
buy high, sell low.
I did your cost average in thing.
Right, you dollar cost averaged like clockwork on XRP. So and it's a home run for you. So, and I do believe that's just getting going. So I think we've only just begun. I just read an article yesterday, XRP $3.
Really?
Eric said, hey guys, we are lucky to be here. The market has been trashed in the last 2 years. Yeah, I mean, especially for small cap stocks, small cap, micro cap, nano cap stocks. I submit to you, I think this is the worst bear market in the history of the stock market for that group of stocks. I have never seen that group of stocks is probably at the bottom was down over 90% on the average as a group. So, that's catastrophic. And many of them I remember I did a couple of videos. Here's my top 5 stocks down 99%. I mean, how many times, how many bear markets do you get to be in where you can make one of those videos? So that was, yes, you are exactly right. This was a tough run. And hopefully at the moment we seem to be getting some of it back right now. Just switched back over to Bitcoin so we can look and see what that's doing. Carmack, the artist, said, hey, Tom, can we get a breakdown of some uranium companies? So uranium is high on my list. Brent, who is a member, has been recommending uranium stocks, and I am looking to get more real-world mining stocks versus the Bitcoin mining stocks. Not looking to get out of Bitcoin mining. I still think this is the best place for my money, but you got to be diversified, and I do like the real-world mining companies, and I specifically like uranium, so I don't have one to tell you today, but I will do a uranium video as soon as I can. So thanks for the recommendation. So Ricky's saying Kraken doesn't let him buy XRP right now, and George, you said it got harder on your platform to buy.
Oh yeah, they limit it. You can't.
So
I think you can only buy $500 a day.
It's a good thing you got in when you did, because you never would have got your position you have right now.
I shouldn't tell everybody that I'm in the top 1/10 of 1% in XRP. So that means I'm really stupid or really strong.
George,
I don't know which one.
But listen, you're up. You're up.
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah,
and
I'm
if
up
you
right
keep,
now.
You can keep a pretty decent cushion with a stop loss, and make sure you end up in that.
I don't think I'll ever sell that. Because at some point in time, this lawsuit has to be over with.
I thought it was going to be over with by tomorrow. So that was and then, I didn't make that up.
Well, the rumor is that it's already over with. It's just not, they're just not releasing it. Yeah.
Well, that could be true because
Wolf does look strong. I'm telling you, I think I'm just going to buy Wolf. I'm still debating what to buy.
Wolf has been very strong. So what is the lagger? So now we have an actual Argo blockchain is definitely the lagger on the day today by far. DMG is lagging a little bit as well. You know, actually just as much as Argo. Any's
Should I
now
make
up
a
almost
risky play?
10%. So I got lucky. I jumped in with some more Any this morning when it was down. I put a limit order in when it was down, and I thought I wasn't going to get it, and then I looked back a few minutes later and I got it. So
Isn't it funny when the days where the market's doing really well, the stream, you could talk forever because it's already 1 o'clock.
oh wow,
Isn't that crazy?
we got to eat.
I know. I was like, how is it 1 o'clock already?
Yeah, time flies when the stock
When-
market's doing well.
I can remember some of these have been like, oh my God, keep the faith.
It is hard on a red day when the whole board's red, but this board, I'll be saving a picture of this board for sure. This is a winner.
I'm going to take a picture of the results of the poll. You going to close it?
Yep, we can close the poll. Edmund said I'm not selling Any or Wolf south of $8. I will reevaluate Wolf at $8. I've done the math. I love the math. Paul Prager is honest, period. So Edmund was in early. He was early on Wolf in particular. I mean, he may have been just as early on Any for all I know, but I know he let everybody know early on. He was in on Wolf and he did the math. So I agree. I'm with you on both of those. Those are the only two stocks I've added in the year 2023 are Any and Wolf. So I'm on the same page, Edmund. I've added to existing positions, but those are my only two new stocks in the year 2023.
Okay, here we go. I bought something.
You bought it?
Yep. Let's see.
Duckman, welcome. We need Bitcoin to 100K. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, we do. I now have a new position. I have a new position in Any.
Oh, did you jump into Any? All right.
Yeah, I just did a small position.
Welcome aboard.
I did 100,000 shares.
I think that, I mean, to me.
Did you hear me? I'm joking. I'm joking, everyone. I didn't do the $39,000.
I didn't. I thought you were serious.
I know. I was just joking.
You probably did just like 5% less than that. You don't have to tell us what you did, but you're that's what you chose. You're into stock
I'm
ticker.
thinking about buying Wolf, but
Sphere 3D.
It goes against my theories.
Gary's saying Iris Energy. And Lant is pointing out he feels like maybe we're entering a bull market in gold. And people think gold is boring, but yes. George and I have talked about gold several times over the last month.
2040.
So it's now having multiple days in a row here where it's closing over 2,000. Aha, how about this? What's going to be higher at the end of the year, gold or Ethereum? I think I know what everybody would vote on that one.
I would go Ethereum.
I think that for the vast majority of people will, even if gold has a fantastic year, I don't know that it can keep up with.
It's just stable. Gold is just stable. It's not. At least that's what I've been told, because I'm the average Joe investor.
You're really embracing that.
I am, because it's who I am. I like titles.
Scott said, buy the stock and sell the option.
I know. I was thinking about how I messed up yesterday on CleanSpark. I should have done that, and I would have only lost $5 freaking grand.
Sour Melon Gaming said, still can't believe when Paul at Wolf said they have nothing to hide. Ha! That was hilarious. So
Tom, that scared Tom too.
I
don't like that.
I'm not pointing to them specifically and saying there's something there. I just that's language I don't like to hear.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave. I'll see you in a little bit.
See you guys. See you in a bit, George. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for not picking on me too bad.
Hey, you made a new pick. You're in. So you are now a Sphere 3D. All right. Thank you, George. That's it for George. Lantis saying CleanSpark should be at $20. I mean, I agree. These things aren't going to run straight to these numbers, but you know, these are realistic price targets, whether it's your, 2-year price target or 3-year price target or whatever the case may be, 5-year price target. All right, Alex is going back to work. Have a great day. Crypto Golfer said, welcome to the Any Club. Life said, I did my buying furiously through the year as the market was burning all the way to the bottom. 2023 and 2024 is just riding the wave. So hopefully for those, for those people that stuck with it, it looks like so far that move is paying off. Today obviously is one of those days that's reinforcing that big time. This is, let's just take a quick peek at the actual market. So let me refresh and make sure this is up to date. So the Nasdaq's up about 1.5. That's a nice day. The Russell's up 1%. The Dow's up 0.6. The S&P's up about 0.8. So here's the thing. Like when you're in these small cap high growth, they are giant risk reward stocks. And that's why, everybody's probably sick of hearing me say it, but I always say these are highly volatile stocks. So they're high risk. You got to have the stomach for this. You got to know your risk tolerance. But on days like today, if you're in the general market, you're up 0.8%. If you're in the Bitcoin miners, you're up 13% or 21% or 7% or 14%. These are the kind of days you can have. And we've had we've strung a bunch of them. 3 of the 4 days this week were very good. Now, we did have a pullback in the middle, but all told, when I do this week's chart week over week, almost every single one of these stocks will have had, unless tomorrow's a nightmare, right? The week's not over yet, so I shouldn't speak too soon. But at the moment, these stocks are up monumentally this week. And they've been lagging behind Bitcoin, so it absolutely makes sense to me. This is what we've been calling for the last month as we've been talking, that the Bitcoin miner price action has been lagging behind the Bitcoin price action, and it's due to catch up. Well, maybe this week is a big part of that process. Scott saying Wolf's cost of operations is the best. Colton, welcome. We gave you a shout out earlier, but you weren't here yet. We figured you'd get here later. Ryan, welcome. CleanSpark, Cypher. Wait a second. CleanSpark, Cypher. I thought it was CleanSpark, Cypher, Iris. Scott Richardson said Sebastian rocks. Oh, Saeed said Sebastian made a great video yesterday on CleanSpark. Let's see. Lee Ferris, doesn't an increase in CleanSpark price mean reduced dilution for the remainder of the year? I mean, in theory, the higher they can drive their stock up before they have to start, they will dilute. But yes, you'd rather see. I mean, look, all of a sudden, when we started talking about this a week ago, it was a pipe dream that they were going to be selling at $4. Now they're already at $4. So that's how fast these things can happen. Ryan said CleanSpark and Iris, no Cypher. Wolf is a great miner, very undervalued in comparison to Marathon and Riot. So there's no doubt if you look at any one of these miners and compare them to the market cap of Riot and Marathon, even though Riot and Marathon are much bigger from an exahash standpoint than almost all the other miners. Now, they're not that much bigger than CleanSpark. In fact, there have been many months in the last 15 months where CleanSpark mined more than one or both of those companies. But other than that, they're the 2 biggest companies, but their stocks are disproportionately large. They do have very strong balance sheets, so, that's a factor. But I think that is one of the that's a leading indicator to me that a lot of rest of these stocks have a long ride up that they're going to take, because we've already seen a glimpse into the future, and it's Riot and Marathon. That's my opinion. And then you never know when that day is. Like, all of a sudden, CleanSpark was up 20% on the year, and it's up 21.5% on the day today. So, who knew? Sour Melon Gaming said, Tom, I know I say it a lot, but I really do appreciate all the time and effort you put into this channel. You've helped us all so much already, and it's only just begun. Thank you very much, Sour Melon Gaming. I appreciate it. I always appreciate that, and I'm glad that we're all helping each other here. I think this is a great community, and we have great subscribers. We have outstanding members. I am going to put, if this works, I'm going to put a link in the description. If you want to support the channel and become a member, you can join the Talkin' Investing Squad. It is $5 a month. We have a members-only chat. We have a members-only live stream once a week. Every Tuesday after the market closes, the members get to pick a stock of their choosing for me to do a deep dive on. So as a result of that, we have a big content library full of content that's ready and waiting for any new member. Also, we have a members-only Discord that I'm active in every day as well, and so are the members. We have a free Discord, which you're also welcome to join. I just know a lot of people get very frustrated in the free Discord. It's not quite the same level of conversation. So, either way, and thank you to all the members that are on the stream right now. It really does make a big difference, so much appreciated. Ryan said ROI will be massive versus CleanSpark's dilution. So I agree with that, Ryan, and that's how I'm looking at this. So that's why these dilution equations are very complicated. All dilution is not created equal. Some of it is outstanding, some of it is a disaster. So, but there are people that just are single-minded about that, and it tends to be that always tends to cause a sell-off in stocks. So I look for the right ones. It's not everyone, but when the right company is diluting for the right reason, oftentimes that's a very good buying opportunity in my experience. So Crypto Golfer said, agree with Sour Melon. Thanks, Tom. You're welcome, Crypto Golfer. Thank you. FV702 said, CleanSpark about to pass $4. So let's see where it's at right now. I'm showing it at $3.99. So yeah, I mean, you got CleanSpark at almost $4. You've got HUT that crossed over $2. That had been a barrier. You have Bitfarms that crossed over $1. That had been a barrier. So a lot of things have taken it up a notch. You got Wolf that just crossed $1. It's at $1.55, so the thought wouldn't cross your mind, but that just crossed $1 a few days ago. I'm going to go to that chart and make sure I'm saying reality here. Right, this thing just crossed $1. It closed at 99.9 cents on April 6th. So, and it's obviously been above $1 ever since then, and it's considerably above $1. So, I don't even think they've had their 10 days in a row yet, but it's looking extremely solid for Wolf. So, unfortunately, 99.9 cents does not count, but this is 1, 2, 3. This is only day 4 for them, and they're already at $1.56. So, I hate to count things before they happen, but their 10 days, it's looking really good for Wolf on their 10 days over $1. Lee said, thanks for everything, Tom. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Ryan said, my biggest position is CleanSpark, disgustingly undervalued. I mean, I agree, Ryan. For those of you, and I know a lot of you watch the channel and are regulars, I've been pounding the table and pounding my head against the wall over CleanSpark. But, I let you guys know I've been adding to the position. So I won't add now. To me, this was the beginning of the run that I've been waiting for. So now I'm already, I say full, I'm already more, my position is more than I expected it to be what I was going to consider a full position. So I'm overloaded on CleanSpark, but the opportunity to continue to dollar cost average presented itself for these 3 extra months as everything continued to run up like crazy. You know, CleanSpark was still, in my opinion, a bargain. Welcome to the Talking Investing Squad. New member alert. Sorry for this mispronunciation, but you're not alone. Bernoulli. Either way, sorry if I've butchered your name, but thank you very much for joining. Welcome to the Talking Investing Squad. There's a bunch of videos ready and waiting for you, so hopefully you'll enjoy those. All right, welcome to Talking Investing. Let's see. Austin, Iris has massive future growth potential with their Childress facility. Yeah, we haven't talked about Iris Energy that much. They're up 18% today. And let's look at their chart. So they had this wacko run these 2 days, and I don't remember what this was all about. So they got up to, you know, a point that maybe was a little unrealistic. This was a candle wick that was way above, but they're back up to their highs from the middle of February and from their low on March 10th. So I think March 10th, plus or minus a day, but I think it was March 10th was the low for almost every Bitcoin miner. So this is just short of up 100% in what is just a few days more than 1 month. All right, Raymond, welcome to the Talking Investing Squad. Welcome aboard. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully, I think you'll enjoy. We do have excellent members. This is a really, really, really good group. So thanks again to all the existing members. Jeff is saying everyone was clowning me for buying Bitcoin in all of Q4 of 2022, but now we caught practically a double. I know we're just short of a double. This yellow line that looks far away on this chart, but it really is not. We're 1.7% away from a double on Bitcoin since November 21st. So we are knocking on the door. Hopefully, maybe tonight, maybe today, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Thanks again to our 2 new members. Welcome aboard. So, Dash, your first name I'm not going to mispronounce. S Dash said, what do you think about Bit Digital? They are prioritizing more on Ethereum and staking now. They have stopped scaling their hash rate for quite a while. So you're making the same observation that I've made on Bit Digital. I'm not currently invested in them. That has been a crazy journey. That's a company that, you know, at one point there was a short report that said they're not even a real company. That was just a year and a half ago. Then they had to move every single machine they have, which was in Asia. They had to move them all. They couldn't find a home. Most of those machines never got hooked back up. So, you know, that does leave some question as to how much exahash they really had at their peak. But on the flip side, they have a rock-solid balance sheet. I love their balance sheet. They are, you know, they're mining their Bitcoin. They're very consistently mining, but they're not ramping up at all. And it appears to me they have no plans to ramp up their Bitcoin mining. They're looking to diversify their revenue streams. So I understand that from a business standpoint. I'm not sure the end of the crypto winter is the time to start doing that. So I think it's a solid company, but I am not invested in it for that reason. The halving is coming, and I'm wondering if at some point they're going to stop the Bitcoin thing altogether and focus on other things. And they held on to a bunch of their Ethereum all along. While everybody was selling everything, they still had, you know, a decent stack of Ethereum that they kept on their balance sheet. So those are my thoughts on that. You know, they may end up, you know, that might be the right strategy, but I like the pure plays a little bit more right now. Stronghold's now up over 30%. Just on fire. So today is Stronghold's day. We thought it was Cleanspark's day, up almost 22%, but Stronghold's running away with it. Now over $1.03. So who would have thought coming into today that Stronghold was going to get over $1? Just incredible. Miner Doc said, Tom, thanks for everything. You're welcome, Miner Doc. Thank you. Thanks for being a member, and thanks for all of your thoughtful comments. All right, it looks like Dash kind of agrees with me on Bit Digital. So we're on the same page there. I mean, it's hard because a lot of these companies are going to win to a certain extent. It's just, I do think we're headed into better times for Bitcoin. So the ones that are now a pure play, that survived the crypto winter intact, that have gotten a lot more efficient and a lot better at what they do, I think there's some of these companies I think are going to thrive in a big, big way. So even after a big update today and a big up week this week, I don't think we're near the finish line. But as I always say, and as you guys know, it can be a bumpy road. So I'll just zoom out for a minute. Like we had, this was rough. This in the middle of a big giant, it's been a bull market since really November 21st was the double bottom. So we've been in a massive upswing since then. But this is from February 16th basically to March 10th. So not quite a month, but this was a brutal month. And, for those who stuck with it, boom, we continued the run. We're very near at 100% run up in Bitcoin now. So I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to get to that 100%. There's no necessarily meaning to that other than it would be nice to be able to say it doubled. So that's the next stop, hopefully. As a Bitcoin miner, ETH seems like a bad idea. It's proof of nothing, LOL. I'm skeptical on ETH as well. So I am not anti-ETH. And, ETH is doing very well today. Let's take a look and see if it's over 2,000. 2010. So it's made a strong move over 2,000. It hasn't been there in a long time. Right? How far back do we have to go? We got to go to August of 2022. So it's now finally doing what Bitcoin did a month ago and taking out August of 2022 from last year. And it's having a huge day today. So I'm not anti-Ethereum. To me, Ethereum and Bitcoin are two very different things. Maybe they're both going to be highly successful. I have a much higher confidence level in Bitcoin than I do in Ethereum. But on the next stream, I will do a poll on do we want to do some deeper diving into Ethereum, and do we want to talk about that more? Because I'm not sure how many of you guys are in Ethereum or interested in Ethereum. There's a lot of stuff going on over there, but I do like Bitcoin. I prefer Bitcoin vastly. So I'm going to end the poll. We got almost 100 votes, and surprisingly, Bitfarms from last place has pulled into first place. So let's see. Let's mark down these final numbers. Bitfarms at 34%. Having said this, this was very, very, very close. Any got 29% of the vote. Let's see. Core Scientific got 23%. And Stronghold, whose ticker I put incorrectly, got 12%. So I don't know if that affected it, but that came in last. So I'm going to save this, and we will look at this. And hopefully it won't be long before one of these pulls a double, and we'll get to see sooner than later if it was one of the four we picked, and if it was, if it was Bitfarms. Bitfarms is the winner, or is it going to be somebody off the board altogether? Raymond is asking, member Discord where? There should be a video on how to connect your membership to the Discord only Where is that video? Tech, how do I get this video? Where do they find the video for connecting to the Discord? My tech has headphones on right now, so he may be completely ignoring me. Tech! Discord! I'm getting nothing. I'll have to post something, but if you look, it should be posted. There's a little YouTube video that's like a 1 or 2 minute video that shows you how to connect your YouTube to the members-only Discord. If anybody can help him with that, please help. Tech is not my specialty. Sour Melon Gaming said, I just wanted to point out that Jim Cramer told everyone to sell when Bitcoin was at 24K. That's right. Oh, he's taking it on the chin for that one. He was rather adamant about that. Not the first thing he's been wrong about / bad timing. But, you know, nobody's right about everything. But it does seem like for whatever reason, for the last year, and probably because it's been an awful, awful bear market, you know, it's easy to say Jim Cramer's wrong on everything. Pretty much everybody was wrong on everything for about a year. So, other than there were people that were shorting and making money, so. Jeff said, Tom, advise me on if what I did was a good idea. When my supermarkets were crushing it early in mid-2022, I took out debt on some of that position and my broker pretty favorable terms and DCA'd into Bitcoin. So for me, I mean, Jeff, you're an experienced trader, so I would not recommend that to anybody. And obviously I can't give financial advice. If you're an experienced trader, you know, that's one thing, but so maybe that may be a good move for you, but I would be afraid to tell anybody else to do that. FV702 says, at Sour Melon Gaming, always do the opposite of Jim. Always. And obviously, Jeff, for you, that bet has already paid off big time. So I don't know if you've undone the borrowing portion of that, but that in hindsight, it was a great move for sure. But it does scare me for people with less experience. Bernoulli, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, just tell me in the comments. Actually, I feel like somewhere I saw. Oh. If I knew my physics better, I would know how to pronounce your name. So I'll look that up. I'm going to say Bernoulli for now, but by next time I'll know what's right. How did I get so far behind? All right, and I got to wrap it up. George is probably on the way to come and get me. It's way past lunchtime here. Jeff saying proof of stake equals proof of fraud. That's Jeff's opinion. I vastly prefer proof of work. It makes sense to me. It's what, you know, this whole thing was created on. Gary saying, says join Discord. Crypto Golfer, JIMCS, that's the new symbol for the triple leverage inverse Cramer ETF. Oh, that I want to start, LOL. I think there is an inverse Cramer out there somewhere. Oh, all right, good. I'm saying it correctly. Thank you. Code Green, Bitcoin miners about to place massive order. Which Bitcoin miner? Are you talking about a massive order of machines? Let's see. So, all right. So I'm going to finish it up, but let's just take a quick look at where we finished Bitcoin's at just under $30,400, so very strong. At the moment, from where it was when the equity markets closed in the U.S. yesterday, we are now up over 2%. So that's a nice move, but obviously a massively leveraged move to the upside on the Bitcoin miners. This is the week we've all been waiting for. Today is the day that we've been waiting for, particularly if you happen to own Stronghold. You're pretty happy today, up 32.6% at the moment. Gree up 18%, Iris up 18%, Cleanspark up 21%, Bitfarms up 17%. There's a lot of other ones. Oh, I said that one. There's a lot of other ones performing extremely well. It's just they're all doing. Any is now up 15%. So I really got lucky this morning. I did put that limit order in for less than it was trading yesterday. And so it started the day red for a short period of time. So I got lucky. I got to add a little bit there. And now it's up 15%. Core Scientific's up 13%. So absolutely. Bit Digital up 19%. I don't know if I said that or not. So spectacular day virtually across the board. So congratulations to everybody. I know we have a lot of Bitcoin miner traders on here, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that are also in Bitcoin as well. So congratulations to everybody. You gotta love a day like today. Everybody that's here has earned these days. We've waited and waited and waited, so enjoy them while they're here. All right, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much, everybody. Again, the special thanks to all the members. Welcome to the new members. Special thanks for the super chats that we got. I think FV702 in particular. Thanks so much. And thanks to everybody, and we will have a live stream tomorrow. I am traveling tomorrow, so it might be at a little bit of a different time. As soon as I figure that out tonight, I'll let everybody know. So we will have our Friday live stream. It just might be at a little bit of a different time. So thanks again for joining us, and I hope I see you guys all on tomorrow's live stream. Go Bitcoin.